and now she's in the UK for uni. You think your upbringing was really good and your parents were there for you. She's telling her UK friends that she was raised poor and abused. I don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening. So really have a heart-to-heart conversation with her. Could it be attention grabbing? Yes. Is she trying to lie about her past because she didn't feel as if she received that attention? Is that why she's trying to grab attention by lying that she was poor? Or did she actually rationalize that when she was younger, you guys were poor even though you were not? Like, this is much more. This is a bigger issue, and I'm not telling you to become your sister's therapist. I don't want you guys to. Hello and welcome to Kitchen Table Advice. My name is Paula and I am the host of this podcast. This podcast is a place where you can ask for any advice you want. It can be relationship, both platonic or romantic, career advice, or life advice. I wanted to create a space where people could ask questions without fear of rejection. I can't guarantee it'll be good advice, but I can guarantee there'll be no shame on my end. Your name will be anonymous and your identity will always be kept a secret. This is not professional advice, and I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist, and you are under no obligation to take this advice. Just think of this as advice you would get from a close friend on a kitchen table. So, let's begin. Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Kitchen Table Advice podcast. And we're just going to dive into the first episode. Please cut the end this. Okay. So, the title of the first episode is I was dating an amazing woman until she went through my phone and broke things off. It seems reconcilable at this point, but I need to do things right. Okay, so let's just dive in. I'm a 27-year-old man and I was dating an amazing woman, a 24-year-old woman, throughout the fall. Long story short, we were exclusive and she found my reply, quotations, those will look great in my mouth. Close quotations. Horrible, I'm aware. To an unsolicited nude Snapchat on my phone. Oh my gosh. From when we first started dating and broke things off. Parentheses, when you press down on the message in the text box of Snapchat, it saves it, thinking I did this on accident. I have really strong feelings for her as she does for me. I respected her space and time, but I feel for her hard, and I'm not going to give up on being with her. I recently reached out just to tell her happy holidays and to check in. Parentheses, it's been about a month since she broke it off. During that time, she expressed how much she misses me and opened the door back up for us to meet back again. She said it's going to take a lot of time and work if I want to have a chance to be with her again, and I think that's entirely fair. Okay, I'm happy he's like, wow. Wow. In fact, that's why I'm here. I want to express how much she means to me and how strong my feelings are for her, even through all of this, while also continuing to give her time and space. Any ideas for gestures that women think will stand out? I'm going to be handwriting letters, buying the snacks / cooking the food she likes, and leaving flowers at her doorstep throughout the time. I don't want to be intrusive, but it seems like showing how much I care will go a long way. Any ideas to show my feelings, but not cross that line would be great. If you... Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, seriously, you would be surprised how many people go through this and they will blame the girl for any unsolicited messages such as these ones. You'd be surprised. So I am glad he's actually like taking accountability for sending explicit messages. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Wait, I'm sorry. Cut this. We'll be back with our advice after this break. This story is hilarious. I can't stop smiling. This is so stupid. I understand. I like the fact he's willing to step up as a man and be like, I messed up and I'm still interested in this connection and I think you're amazing and you're dope and please give me another chance. Because you would be surprised. You'd be surprised by the amount of men who are like, well, she went through his phone, so she's at fault. Something could be said about that, yes, but that message is just like, really? What? When you're in an exclusive relationship? I don't know. Some people may think, oh, that's not cheating, but maybe that's not for you. But for her, she's obviously, she doesn't take likely to that. And I agree. I mean, I agree with her. So, hey, if it's not something she's going to put up with, she put up her boundaries. And I really respect her for that. And I also respect him for acknowledging set boundaries and not wanting to push too far, but still show her that he cares. I think this is a really mature relationship. This is one, if not the only mature relationship I've ever spoken of on this podcast, because most of the other relationships are just, I think you're already doing great. You know, if you're in this guy's shoe where you've sent unsolicited messages on Snapchat and your partner does not like it, take accountability for that. And she already told him, like, I'm not cool with this and I'm not okay with this. And she even broke the things off because she was so uncomfortable. As she should. She's the type of person who does not want her partner to send those type of messages in a relationship. If you're the type of girl who does, good for you, more power to you. If you're not, like this woman, tell people right off. Because there are a lot of women who just think shutting their mouths and not saying anything is going to help them in their relationship. It's not. This girl is obviously not the type who's okay with that. She set her boundaries. She told her partners her boundaries, enforced those boundaries, and now guess what? He still loves her and he's willing to pull in the work, even though he messed up. He messed up, okay? He messed up. He messed up big time. I think that's understandable. But just, I mean, for the gestures, you've kind of like, he's such a romantic talking about handwritten letters. Okay, that's, I don't know how many people handwrite letters nowadays. It's like, that might be a really good gesture. You give her enough space, but still show your affection. I like the letters thing, the snacks and the food. If you're in the same predicament as this man where you really like the connection you have with this person and you messed up, okay? We all messed up and they've made the boundaries clear or they're trying to go no contact with you. But you still want to show how much you respect them, you want to be around them, and you really care for them. I think this is I think the way to go about it is, how am I going to say it? You really care about them without, pushing too much because, let's face it, nobody likes someone who's just trying to smother them. There's some people who do, actually. But most people do not like people trying to smother them. They would just run away. So in this case, what he already wrote is fine. Handwritten letters, snacks, food, just leave it by her doorsteps. Send cute messages here and there. Don't blow up her phone. But like just a message here and there. Oh, I'm thinking about you. Or, oh, I saw this funny thing. We talked about, when you guys were still together. Like, oh, okay. Oh, I just thought of this. I think for this, it's like you want to make the gifts personable. Don't make them general. So he already said he really loves her. He vibes with her. He likes being around her. Now, what did you guys talk about? Or like, what did she like? So think back to those conversations and send stuff related to those conversations. That's really the best way that I can say, okay, if you do this, you kind of have a chance, since she's already expressed how she misses you and everything. So it's like the door isn't completely shut off. She just needs to think about her life right now and see where to go with you, because you messed up, dude. But it's okay. You can come back. So in this instance, I would say think back to your previous conversations. What did you guys bond over? Or what did you notice that you liked about her? All those stuff. And even if it's oh, remember this book we read together? Ha ha ha. I have a copy. Something. It might be cliche. I know you might be like, wait, what? But like, for this kind of thing, don't make the gifts general. Be intentional with your gift giving. So you're gonna have to think about some stuff. Okay, you might have to sit down and write a list. Like, what did you guys talk about? What did you guys bond over? And send a gift related to those things. People like it when the people we like show a vested interest in what we like. Basically, I mean, that's literally how people connect. People literally connect when they meet someone they like, and then that person also has a vested interest in what we like. We're like, oh my gosh. That's basically how most connections happen, whether it's friendship or romantic. So in this case, I would just say, go back to the basics. How did you guys connect? And use that as your starting point to grabbing her attention. So like, it can be gift, it can be poetry, it can be whatever you guys connected over. Whatever you guys connected over, just give a gift based on that. Yeah. All right, good luck to you. I don't know what else to do, but it's like, good luck to you. Ooh. And try not to send unsolicited messages on Snapchat. Okay, if your partner does not like it, try not to do that. I hope you've learned your lesson from this, but like, try not to send unsolicited messages to nude pictures on Snapchat. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so we're gonna dive into the second story of this episode. This was very interesting. This is a family thing. Family stuff are so complicated. So we're just gonna dive in. The title is, I fear my sister is starting to distance herself from the family and making me shoulder all the responsibilities. Am I correct in this feeling? What's the best approach? So, a bit of context. I'm a 27-year-old man and my sister, a 22-year-old woman, graduated university and we are actively working. We grew up in Canada, though she lives in the UK now. We were both fortunate to get good, high-paying jobs. I work in tech and my sister is a trader at a well-known bank. After graduating, I visited our parents regularly, especially on Christmas. I set up weekly WhatsApp calls to bring the family together. My sister, after moving away for uni in the UK, distanced herself from everyone. She basically stopped calling her parents during the pandemic, citing that she was busy studying. She avoided many interactions with our parents, such as inviting the folks to graduation and actively discouraging any attempts to visit her. The odd part was that she wasn't poor. A good part of her education was paid by our parents and myself. She had basically repeated her first year again for free because she didn't get into the university she wanted. What really grinds me is that she's telling her friends in the UK that she was raised poor and possibly abused. Wow. She's okay with me though, and we talk regularly. This Christmas, she pissed everyone off. I coordinated a call between everyone. We coordinated around her schedule. Parentheses, essentially, she was going to her roommate's parents for Christmas. She came on the call while dressed for the party and talked about the gift she bought her roommate's parents. We didn't get anything. Oh my gosh. Ultimately, I'm scared that she'll push all the responsibility to handle our now elderly parents to me. I've seen the same narrative play out in other families where one sibling is forced to take the parents because another straight up refuses. What do I do? How do I tackle this diplomatically? Wow. We are going to be back with our advice after this break. We are back, and you are definitely right. Something is happening here. I don't know if she's purposely pushing responsibilities onto you, but something is happening. From you mentioning, it doesn't seem like there's an older sibling. So you are the older sibling. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, men and women, boys and girls, this is very unfortunate, but in most families, the older sibling tends to bear the burden of taking care of the parents. It's really sad. especially when you're the girl, but in this case, it's a guy, and I'm actually really surprised. Maybe it's because of the big age gap between her and him. Like, there's a 5 year age gap. He's 27, she's 22. But yeah, I've seen this in multiple families. The older siblings always tend to bear the burden of, when they're younger, they're basically like a second or third parent to their younger children. And when they become older, they're like, what is it called? The person who everyone kind of assumes they're gonna take on that role of taking care of the elderly parents. It sucks. I don't agree with it, but something needs to be talked about it, and I'm really sorry. I don't even know where to begin or like where to start tackling this subject, which is why I'm going to tell you, talk to your sister. I don't know why this happened. I don't know why she's lying that she was raised poor or abused. I don't know if it's because of she's trying to distance. I mean, she's definitely trying to distance herself. I don't know if it's upbringing. I know sometimes we are in the same household as our siblings and our brothers and sisters, but we all turn out differently. Oh, we all perceive stuff differently. So I'm not saying she wasn't abused when she was younger, but it's just like, hear her out and really try to understand her perspective and what happened during her upbringing. Because you'll be surprised how many children are in the same family, but everyone has experienced stuff differently. Like, just like I told you about the older sibling thing, there are a lot of older siblings who feel like they have to be the role model or the model child for their younger siblings, either by the parents constantly saying your siblings are looking up to you, or and I mean, either by the parents constantly saying your siblings are looking up to you, or by whatever factor. Because I've heard so many parents, especially with the older kids, they always say, "Oh, your little brother and your little sister are looking up to you," and then the child feels like they have to be this person who's always right, who's always kind of perfect. It's just, there's so many detrimental stuff that happened to in childhood, and I don't even think science has gotten to that part of childhood trauma. It's just, there's a lot to explore there. But yeah, talk to your sister. What happened during the childhood? First, and a second thing, you're a man and she's a woman. So the way she's going to, the relationship she's going to have with your parents is going to be completely different than yours. I'm not saying one is right or what is wrong, but as a woman who has been socialized to, I guess, do stuff women are supposed to do, which I reject. As a woman who's been socialized into doing the things women do, it's that is another that is like another problematic thing over there. And in a sense, I don't know how guys or men, young boys, are socialized to be men. I don't have that experience. So, but I have the one where I'm socialized to be a woman, and I can tell you it has its good and bad. Okay, there are a lot of good, but there are also a lot of bad stuff in there. So you basically need to have a conversation with your sister. You guys may have been raised in the same household. You guys may have gone through life the same, but the way you see the world is fundamentally different for many stuff, right? You guys grew up in Canada and now she's in the UK for uni. You think your upbringing was really good and your parents were there for you. She's telling her UK friends that she was raised poor and abused. I don't know what's happening. You don't know what's happening. So really have a heart-to-heart conversation with her. Could it be attention grabbing? Yes. But is she trying to lie about her? Is she trying to lie about her past because she didn't feel as though she didn't feel as though she was given the attention she deserved, or like, what am I trying to say? Is she trying to lie about her past because she didn't feel as if she received that attention? Is that why she's trying to grab attention by lying that she was poor? Or did she actually rationalize that when she was younger, you guys were poor even though you were not? Like, this is a bigger issue, and I'm not telling you to become your sister's therapist. I don't want you guys to ever do that. Like, if you do not, seriously, If you don't have the skills for something, don't sign up for that job. And this includes therapy. It's like you guys have heard that from a previous, what's it called, a previous episode. I always tell you guys, if you do not have the skills for it, don't sign up for it. And even if you do have the skills, you better charge for your services. But anyways, so what is it? There are a lot of unanswered questions here. And why does she feel the need to spend Christmas with her friend's family and not her actual family? Like, something happened, and you don't, as the older brother, you do not know. It could be because of XYZ or 1, 2, 3. You don't know. Something happened when she was growing up, and now she wants to go no contact or barely any contact with her family members. And she's talking to you, which is a great place to be at. So that means that she cares for you, or she thinks you're a safe place for her. It's kind of open for you to actually have this honest heart-to-heart conversation with her about what happened when we're growing up. Why are you trying to distance yourself from the family? She may not be forthright in the beginning, but eventually as time goes on, I tell you guys, just when things like this happen, especially when it's like family and friendship where you don't understand, it just seems like a complete switch up. Give the person time. I know for you may be stressful. You're like, come on, girl, just tell me what it is. But you have to give people time. People need to get there on their own. They need to go through life at their own pace. So you have to give your sister time and just open that door to inquire about what happened. What happened when you guys were growing up? How did she see life when she was growing up? Or what did she think of your parents? Whatever it is, just the advice is talk. Talk with your sister. Obviously, tell her you care about her and you want the best for her as her older brother. You really want to be there for her, which is why you don't understand why she's acting like this. And not in a blaming way, but like, not, you don't understand why she's acting like this, and you want to understand. Did something happen when you guys were growing up? Did something happen when you're 27, so I'm guessing you left for college before her? Did something happen when you weren't in the house? Like, what happened for her to get to this point where she's in a university in a completely different country and does not want her family to come to her graduation? Like, that's a big one. She doesn't want her family to come to graduation. She does not want her family to come visit her. She doesn't want to spend Christmas with her family. Obviously, something happened. And it might be bigger than just you shouldering responsibilities. So it's like, yeah, the best approach is have a conversation with your sister. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know what happened in your household. You don't know what happened in your household for her to see life like this. So just have an honest and open conversation with your sister and tell her you're here for her, you care about her, and you really just want to understand. You're not here to judge her or tell her she's wrong for this or she's wrong for that. That you just want to understand. And the fact that you guys talk regularly means that she does trust you. So I think you can definitely talk to her about it. Let's check how long we have on the clock. We may or may not have a third story. I'm starting to feel parched. Okay, we can have a quick third story. A quick one. Quick third story. Is pursuing a shy guy worth it? I just moved to another country for studying and I met a guy here. I'll be staying in this country for 3 years. Okay. So we're just going to dive in. I'm a 19-year-old woman and I just moved to another country for studying and I met a guy here. I've developed some feelings for him, although I don't think I'd like to spend my whole life with him. I need someone who's equally as motivated and inspired as I am, and this guy focuses on short-term perspective, parentheses, which is totally okay, by the way, but just not my thing. I can respect that. Regardless, I'm starting to fall for him because of his sense of humor and because it's really apparent that he's into me. I'm kind of out of his league, so I've heard. Parentheses, which is an oversimplification and kind of weird to say. I don't want to be rude. I truly don't care about looks that much. He's very shy. Girl, okay. I'm going to stop you right there. You may very well be out of his league, okay? And that's okay. It doesn't mean you can't date someone who's out of your league. That's fine. Okay. You do not have to dim your light because you like this guy's sense of humor. It's okay. You can be out of his league and he still makes you laugh. That's okay. So in my mind, it would be nice to experience. It would be a nice experience for both of us to get together with this upper limits of 3 years. Of course, I'll tell him that straight away, that I just want to have fun and then move on with my life in another country or another university. I could show him he's not as unlovable as he might think he is. We'll get to have some cute moments. And I want to really put in effort into this relationship, and I'll get experience, attention, and his funny jokes out of it. Honestly, why are you asking for advice? You already know what to do. Never been in a relationship before, and I don't want to hurt him or to regret pursuing someone in whom I don't see a potential partner for life. Is it love or something that will pass? Is it selfish / egotistic to want this type of relationship? Okay, no, and no. It is not selfish. It is not egotistical. It's not selfish and it's not egotistical. I think a lot of people, especially around, like, there's a lot of fear in the world. And and I've been hearing this a lot lately. It's like people don't even want to put themselves out there. Not because they're afraid of getting hurt. It's just they're afraid of, I guess, not wasting time if this isn't their life partner. But people seem to forget this one notion. How are you going to know who your life partner is if you don't go out there and experience being in a relationship with other people? You're not going to know what you like or dislike. And I have told you guys this time and time again. Your 20s are your years of exploration. If you like this guy and it's going to be a relationship or a relationship that has a definite end, go for it. I'm not going to tell you, oh, sit there, relax, and wait for who or for your quote unquote life partner to come. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they're going to be like. And it's really unfortunate. No one wants to take a risk because they don't want to be like, oh, I quote unquote wasted this time. You didn't waste time. When you're in a relationship with someone you really care for and you really adore and you want them to be by your side, you're not wasting time if it doesn't work. It just means that now you know, okay, I like this about this person. I like this, I like this, I like this, and I don't like that. You figure out more about yourself in relationships. Just because it does not work, it doesn't lead to marriage, doesn't mean you're wasting time. You're not wasting time. There's no such thing as wasted effort. None. So if you're in a similar space as this girl, I would tell you, go for it. Even if you're just staying there for 6 months, go for it. Go for it. 3 years is a lot. Girl, 3 years is a lot. And you don't know. Maybe being in a relationship with you is going to motivate him or kindle some kind of spark in him. You don't know that. Okay? But if it doesn't, I appreciate your honesty. If he's not going to be as motivated and as inspired as you are, feel free to leave after 3 years. But it's like, this is a relationship with a time limit. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's like no one wants to take a risk. No one wants to try. And now they wonder why they're unhappy. I would never tell you guys to not take a chance on something you really like. Whether it's experience or people. Okay, let's not try to use people as objects, but whether in whatever facet of your life, if you really feel good about something, go for it. Even if it doesn't work out, trust me, you're going to find something in that experience that you know more about you or the person or the environment. You're always going to figure something out. So don't let the fact that this isn't happily ever after to deter you from experiencing a really good romance, okay? Most people, obviously, your lifelong partner to be the most romantic or the blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, people have been watching Disney way too many freaking times. Y'all need to go out there and live your life, okay? Like I said, Even if you're going to be in this city for 6 months or 2 months, if you feel drawn to someone or you feel like there might potentially be something there, go for it. Go for it. And I understand you don't want to hurt him. But like you said, just tell him straight away. You don't plan on staying here forever. You plan on just experiencing this and seeing what it leads. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And at the end of this, you might figure out what you like in a lifelong partner or what you don't like. Or he might potentially be your lifelong partner and decide to move with you. You don't know. That's what makes life so interesting. You don't know. But everyone wants these conclusive notion of this is your one and only. This is the only person you're supposed to be with. Blah, 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 blah. Don't waste anybody's time. Excuse me. How are you supposed to get better? Or how are you not even get better? How are you supposed to know what type of person you are in a relationship if you don't experience being in a relationship? It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. So I'm telling you, if you're in a similar situation, or if this is you, go for it. I don't care what anybody says. Go for it. Experience life to the fullest. You are 19. Explore your options. Explore the world. Go out and figure out who you are, and figure out what type of person you are in a relationship, what type of person you are in friendships. Just figure it out. Just, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I think like the fear of dating is really, it's a lot lately. It's like people are so afraid of they're not even afraid of getting hurt. Like, I've heard the wildest thing. It's like they're not even afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of losing time. But it's like, but you don't even know yourself. I bet if your soulmate came in, you wouldn't know they're your soulmate because you don't even know who you are. You don't know what you like or what you dislike. You've been keeping yourself in this corner thinking it's protection, but it's not. You just have a lack of experience. Anyways, and there's nothing wrong with lack of experience. It's okay having lack of experience, but you also need to take risks and take charge of your life. That's basically what I'm trying to say. All right, so we are done with this week's episode, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye. So much for listening to that episode. And what did you guys think? And the first story is just, sir, you still have a chance. Just make sure you don't send unsolicited messages to nude pics. That's it. But I really do think you still have a chance. You guys can let us know in the comment section if he still has a chance or not. I really believe he has a chance. Story. You need to understand you're already a safe space for your sister. The fact that she's engaging with you and talking with you means she really does value your advice. So you kind of have to be a bit more open and really try to understand her a little bit more and see what may have happened during the childhood where you thought it was this, but she thinks it's that. Or it may be the fact that she's a woman and that fact that you're a man. Like, there are a lot of stuff. Or the fact that you're older than her and she's younger. There's so many things. There's so many layers in this where I don't think it's just her pushing responsibilities onto you. I think it's actually much deeper, and it's so layered and it's so convoluted. And basically, just try to make space for your sister and try to be understanding to her. But don't just take her side, but still voice your opinion, right? Voice your opinion, but also be understanding of your sister. And the last story, I know some people may disagree with me or not, but I really think your 20s are your years of exploration. And if you want to be in a relationship with someone, even if you don't foresee it lasting forever or happily ever after, whatever, go for it. But just let them know. That's it. And don't be afraid or don't be scared, because the likelihood of you meeting your soulmate or the other half, the person in your life, it's not likely going to happen the first time around. Let's just be honest. There are too many people in the world, and by the time that you meet your soulmate, you've already had all these experiences, and maybe those experiences are actually what leads you to your soulmate. There are various things in the world. We can't just expect stuff to be black and white. I'm just going to meet this one person, they're going to be the love of my life. As much as we want to believe that, that's not reality. That's not true. And I don't ever want you guys to walk around with rose-colored glasses and live into this fantasy land, because I actually believe that's why the world is so messed up, and we have these skewed understanding of relationships, both friendships and romantic, or even your role in a job. Like, should you be friends with your coworkers, yes or no? We have all these skewed understanding because we walk around with these rose-colored glasses thinking the whole world is a fairy tale. It's not. Okay, it's unfortunate as it is not, it's still a good experience. All right, but yeah, so that is it for this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this episode, and if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then please give us a review, preferably a 5-star review. Leave your rating, and we'll see you all next Sunday. Bye.